Well, you can see how unlevel the floor is. We're going to remove this toilet, and we're going to use some plaster of Paris to level the floor off, so that when we set the toilet back, the toilet will be nice, level, steady, and straight. First, we're going to cut the water to the toilet off. And what I like to do is take a plunger and just plunge the remaining water in the tank out, in the bowl itself. Now let's disconnect the supply line to the toilet tank. Usually I like to put a small bowl or a towel up underneath to catch the excess water that comes off after removing the supply line. Now let's remove the closet bolts so that we can lift the toilet and put it to the side. Well, now you can see how unlevel the floor is. It looks as though someone has tried to make repairs before. And what I like to do is I like to leave the existing wax on there and just put a whole new wax ring right on top of there. Just it's always good to have just a little more wax. I mean, it's not hurting anything. Just put it on there and get a nice seal on the toilet. Now let's start with our shims and start leveling the floor off. And with the shims, we're going to fill all the voids, all the low spots of the floor. And once we have the shims in place, that's when we're going to mix our plaster of Paris and just kind of place the plaster of Paris around it so that we can start leveling this floor off. Now, I usually carry a plastic container around in my truck to mix plaster of Paris in. So if you have something like this, this is fine. And yes, that's the plaster of Paris, and you can find it in most hardware stores. Now when you mix plaster of Paris, all you're going to use is water, and you're just going to mix it just as if you would mix a cake mix or a cement mix. You're just going to keep mixing it till you get the right consistency. Not too watery, not too thick. The biggest problem in mixing it not too thick, mixing it thick, is that it will dry fast, and you want to give yourself a little time to set this towel in place before it dries too fast. Now, one of the things you can't see right now is that I am running the water in the face bowl. Now, if you're close to the tub, that's another place you can run the water. And as I'm mixing the plaster Paris, I just continuously let the water in the face bowl or tub just run, so that after my mixing, I can wash my hands, and the excess plaster Paris is just washed down the drain, and just keep the water running so it don't clog it up just until it dilutes and flushes it all away. Now remember, if you mix this too watery, it's going to run everywhere, and it's not going to do you any good. So now we have just about the right consistency that we want, and we can start placing it over the shims and filling all the voids, all the low spots of the floor.